the seat would explode.
Really?
Catch fire. Of course it would. It's the thermostat underneath there.
I'm not saying it's progressively just going to continue to heat up until it gets to 400 degrees. It just starts melting you. Shall we just do a consumer advice on heated seats in various cars?
Well, you can, mate. It's a bit boring, I think.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Supercars of London. Tony, hello. What's up? How you doing? You well?
Good, I'm very good. How are you?
Ferrari's looking good here. We're down at Gravelwood Cars because today we're going to be introducing a new YouTube series that is providing very sensible, emphasis on the word sensible,
Consumer
advice about buying cars. One thing that I've noticed is my M3 is still here.
Yeah.
What's happened? Because that's sold, right?
No, we had a deposit on it, subject to finance, but we couldn't get the car on finance, so it is still available.
Okay, so that is an announcement. My M3 is still available, but what we're thinking is we're going to revert it back to stock, right?
I think so. Yeah. Freshen it up.
Okay.
Put it back to stock.
Because
reduce it a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what's going to happen. But we're not going to be driving that car today because this whole idea of this YouTube series, which is going to span across 2018, is showing what you can buy for different price brackets. We're going to be looking at 20,000, 5,000, 150,000 pounds, and everything like that. Because when I picked up my C63, Twitter and Instagram exploded from people asking about what's the best car you should buy for X amount of money, or do you think this is the right car to buy because this is how much I'm thinking about losing and everything like that. So before we go in the Audi S1, which is quite a good car to buy for £20,000.
Yeah, it is.
We're then going to go in a Mercedes A45 because that is nearing £40,000, so double the price. We're going to try and work out if there's a difference. Then, the exciting part is I'm going to drive a manual V8 R8.
Complete different end of the spectrum.
But only £5,000 more than the A45.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough.
Interesting.
But first, we need some fuel to function in this video, so we're going to jump in your Panamera Gran Turismo. Is that what it's called?
It's a Panamera Turbo Sport Gran Turismo, something like. No, not Gran Turismo. Sport Turismo. Panamera Turbo Sport Turismo. Yes!
I mean, let's just go. What do you think?
It's mega, mate.
Yeah?
Honestly, it is mega.
Aside from the looks, then?
Don't you like the looks?
I'm not a big fan of this rear. I get what they're trying to do, because they're trying to rival RS6. They're trying to rival those types of cars. You don't have the cool spoiler now, though.
Mate, it's there. Look at it. It's wicked.
No, that's
so
not
subtle.
Subtle. Did you say?
Yeah, I think the back looks much better. I prefer the back to the front.
Really?
You don't know what you're talking about, anyway.
That's true. Let's let's go GoPro setup because surely the pie trick's the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, it is freezing. Sick party trick. Why does it not open for me?
So someone don't nick it, mate, so you don't get carjacked. So it's got keyless entry.
That's such a nuisance, though.
Oh.
So we come down to Gravelwood Cars because we're announcing that we're going to be working together this year on a very sensible / idiotic buyer's guide type series. Because I don't think anyone's really touched upon it, but it is one of the biggest topics that I get asked on Twitter and Instagram is, what's the best car you can buy for £5,000? What's the best car you can buy for £25,000? So I wanted to take all of your suggestions and try and cram into over a year long, because I think we're going to need a year long in terms of getting this, because the different stock that you get, but also going to different dealerships. I think it's a bit of organising. So we're going to try and tap into different price brackets and bring you guys some advice on buying. Mercedes drivers, isn't it? It's all the same.
That's so busy. It's a Dean, red one.
Is it? Parking sensors going off.
Oh dear. It's
all kicking off.
Sorry, Dean.
Sorry, Dean. How much is this car?
It's around 150 grand ish.
So we're trying to do some sort of sensible buying advice, and we're in a Porsche estate that costs 150 grand.
I think this is sensible.
Would you have this or a 2-year-old Rolls-Royce Wraith? Because they're both 150 grand.
For practicality, this. But if I'm going to show off the roller,
Yeah, so you'd have the roller.
I think they've created a new segment for this car because it's better than an RS6 or an E63 estate because it's got a big support.
But it's not as flamboyant as a Lusso.
But it's not as flamboyant as a Lusso.
But
It's in the middle.
But it's 100 grand less than a Lusso.
It's 100 grand less than a Lusso. I heard that McLaren are building a competitor to this. Have you heard that?
McLaren?
Yeah. And obviously the Aston Martin Rapide.
Yeah.
Similar money.
I'd
This
like
is
to
not
think that they're
sponsored.
going to redo the Rapide in something cooler with the new twin turbo 5.2 litre V12.
Yeah.
'Cause that will be cool.
Or the V8.
Oh, that needs a V12.
Really?
Yeah. Everything needs a V12.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should have a V12.
This should have
The Rolls Royce has got a V12. Now, before we start driving this car, being the first car in this series, I would like to point out that this is very much an introduction to the series. This is not a fully fledged episode. This is us testing the waters, working out how we're going to go about finding these cars, because I can imagine in some instances the cars that we want to drive aren't in stock or gravel.
Not always, yeah.
So we're going to have to work on how we get all of the cars to drive. How do you do the...
On the right, mate.
Should work there.
You pull it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the back one.
That's the back one. There we go. Are you excited?
Excited that you can't drive. Mate, you had an A1.
I did.
So how do you not remember?
That's true, actually.
These are actually cracking, these things.
They're so much fun.
So good.
So Alex Calms has got an Audi S1, and I've spent a lot of time in it.
So
And
has he. Have you seen that filthy in there? He's right on in his
he lives in it. I think he does live in it. In the actual episodes, we're going to be showing the cars in much more detail, showing you what you get for your money. But right now, we're just going to go for a drive and try and differentiate what are the different price points and what you get for them. For 20 grand, you get a lot of car for your money.
You get a load of car.
Quattro, manual gearbox, the right amount of power to put through a manual gearbox, meaning that you can chuck it around and have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So this car would have been 30 grand new.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
It might, because it's got quite a lot of options on it, so it might even have been a little bit more.
Yeah.
So at 20 grand, it's not 2 years old. It's done 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's like a third of its actual value from new.
I feel like the size, the weight, the power, it deserves a manual gearbox. I think it's too slow for a paddles, you know what I mean? I think from a driving experience and involvement, you need a manual gearbox in a car like this. It's the same as the Focus RS. Anything for me over 400, 450 brake is fine for paddles. Under, manual.
You prefer manual? Okay. I'll tell you what is a good manual car, hot hatch, and it would only be good in a manual,
Go on.
I think, the
Go
Honda
on.
Civic Type R.
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't come with paddles.
No.
It's only manual.
But I don't think that would suit a pedal.
No. That is the right moment of having a manual gearbox in the right car. Let's spin round. Let's jump in the A45 because that is definitely not manual, but it is almost double the price of this.
And double the horsepower.
Yeah.
Nearly.
So let's try and work out whether we can find that extra 17 grand in that over this.
Yeah.
Because I love this car.
Yeah. Would you like to buy it?
Tony, I have stressed on many occasions that I'm not buying cars from you on this series. We're purely making a YouTube video. I'm now in the A45 AMG waiting for Tony, who is there on the phone, who's a very busy man, but has managed to put aside a couple of hours filming for me. But the attention to detail on the interior of this car is only done 2,500 miles. It is almost new, or feels new in here. The only A45 that I remember going in is Archie's car, which did not feel anywhere near as nice as this car. Sorry, Archie. There is red everywhere in this car, red calipers and the AMG upgraded wheels. The spec on this is amazing.
Yeah, it's got everything.
It's really nice. Let's start this beast up. It's got the upgraded AMG wheels, which is a must on
Yeah,
all
yeah.
AMG cars.
100%.
Do you remember when I was sending you C63s and you're like, they've got the wrong wheels on
Yeah.
it? And I am a massive fan of these wheels that are on the car. My AMG GTS had bigger version of these wheels on the car.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise just how important it was for resale, which is a massive part to buying a car. It's a big factor when it comes to buying a car, which is mental because you buy a car and you're in love with it and it's just this incredible feeling picking up a car. But you also have to realise that at some point you're probably going to want something else.
Yeah,
You're
of
going to
course.
want the next thing, you're going to want to level up.
Yeah. The spec on a used car probably doesn't make it worth a lot more money, if any, depending on the car.
Yeah.
It just makes it more desirable. So you want the one with the highest spec,
Exactly.
essentially,
Yeah.
because that's always going to be more desirable.
Yeah. Coming from a car dealer, that's the sort of information you need. It's just going to make it more desirable as it stands out.
Yeah.
A45 AMG, one of the most capable cars, and it is one of the leading hot hatches, wouldn't you say? It's
Yeah.
up there with RS3.
Yeah. So the RS3 in this is what we would call a hyper hatch.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So they're the two fastest hot hatches you can buy, and that's quite a nice noise.
That was a really nice noise.
And for a 2 litre as well.
Sounds
Furious
good.
Exhaust. Keep turning it off.
Yeah, it's popping on the upshift.
Yeah. And the down.
Yeah. Whilst this at £37,000, you've got all of the modern technologies. With this being one of the highest spec A45s that you can get, this has got every box ticked. So everything that you want, whether it's nav, heated seats, sports exhaust, we've got
Apple CarPlay, pan roof, cameras,
upgraded sound system, Harman Kardon.
Yeah. It's got upgraded.
That's
the
important.
bigger
Harman
seats.
Kardon.
The aero
It's
kit.
incredible. It's got everything that you need,
Yeah.
but being £37,000, this comes quite close to another car that you've got in stock, which is a completely different car. But if you want a really exhilarating and involving drive that comes with some of the modern technologies that this car provides, some of the excitement that this car provides, but has a little bit of that Audi spice from the S1, talking about the R8, that is surely the entry level to a 2-seater super sports car.
Yeah, it is.
So I think we need to drive it because those cars, I mean, look at that as a option.
Collision assist.
Collision assist.
Is that what they call it? I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Driving assist pack
Is
is
it?
what it is in Mercedes, yeah. Let's go and drive the R8 because it is worlds apart from this car. But if you were to go to a dealer and see, like, let's use the Gravelwood for example, £42,000, might be able to beat you up a little bit on the price, get it down to 40. I don't know.
Easy.
You don't understand how excited I am now. The finale brings us to this. Arguably the best value for money car you can buy, you reckon?
Value for money supercar at least.
More sports car now, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah. But
Ford
supercar in its day.
Well, exactly, that's it, because
Yeah.
we've driven the S1 and the A45, and when you think about the price of that, this is why this video series is going to be so diverse and flexible, is that you can buy that car for what, 37, what was it again?
37 grand I think the A45 was.
37 grand, and how much is this?
42. Bring back any memories, son?
Mate, this is so nostalgic. So nostalgic, just building those revs up, and it's such a smooth revving car. That sound is just like, this is mad.
It's like proper involvement. This gearbox gives you like proper involvement.
Yeah.
And that V8 engine in the back,
Yeah.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Well, there is an R8 at SB Race Engineering that has done 110,000 miles.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
So this car is £42,000.
Yeah.
If you go on Auto Trader now, the amount that you can buy for that price is mind blowing.
First, mate.
Yeah. You can pull away in third. That's my advice.
Nonsense. That's not his advice. Don't listen to him.
There's reverse. How good am I, Emmanuel?
And you want to learn to drift? You got to learn to change gear first.
This is just a teaser of some of the cars that we're going to be driving, and we are going to be touching upon all ends of the spectrum.
Try to give you some consumer advice.
Consumer advice, but in a way that probably won't sound like consumer advice. This is going to be a list. This is going to be a video that you probably go back and watch a couple of times to pick out all of the sensible stuff. Because there's going to be a lot of it. This is just the beginning. This is like the launch episode as such. We're now going to be working hard behind the scenes, looking at the auto traders, looking at the piston heads, and coming up with a different price bracket. So comment below what price bracket you would like to see, and we're just going to do our best to try and hit every single price bracket, try and find the best car in that price bracket, and then how you would go about getting a good deal on it so that you don't lose money, whether finance is the best route, whether paying cash is the best route, or whether paying lease is the best route. Ladies and gentlemen, as I pull into the petrol station, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully you can get just as excited as we are about doing this very sensible consumer advice series, but in a fun way. And I will see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Ta-da.